Welcome to the Thursday stream. Sorry about the music. I didn't realize it was off. How's it going, everybody? Welcome, Echo Rester Dragon, Michael Hasser. Today is Thursday. Basically, this weekend is going to be a long weekend. So that's nice. I'm not sure why it didn't auto cycle, but that's okay. Rookie streamer, true. True. The most rookiest of rookie. Of them all. Whew. So, we've got a bit of a roster to go through, bit of a gauntlet. Just to give you a TLDR of one of the bigger stories coming out. Apparently, there have been some classified documents that apparently then Vice President Biden had in his possession. Of course, once they were found, they were immediately the National Archive was immediately notified. According to what Biden said, his team is fully cooperating. They have found other stuff that they've turned over, and now the Attorney General Merrick Garland has appointed a special counsel who will see into the matter. That's right, bipedal. This will all be resolved because Obama already declassified them in his mind. And for the folks who are trying to do this comparison between they're treating Biden differently than Trump and all this. Yeah. Yeah. If it's found that Biden did something improper, then so be it. They should obviously investigate that. The difference is that the Biden administration, as of right now, hasn't put up any type of roadblocks whatsoever. The problem, or the main difference between one of the main differences between the Biden and Trump situation is that Trump actively engaged in obstruction and lied. That's the problem. It's not just that he mishandled classified documents. It's that he engaged in obstruction of justice, allegedly. That's the problem. Mayhem Hippie, how's it going? And the update to that story is that there has been a special counsel appointed. A Robert Hur will be the one that's assigned to that. So let's start. They had to do the special counsel because Biden is sitting president. Gotcha. I mean, hey, so be it. If that's the procedure, so be it. How's it going, Wolf Glenn? We're going to start off today with the meme story, I guess. Because why not? We're talking about Biden's not returned classified documents? Yes. Yes. Basically, the TLDR is that there's going to be a special counsel. And, yeah, we'll see.
Today, we're going to be talking about someone who you probably haven't thought about for quite some time, and that individual is Gina Carano. Now, you may remember her from The Mandalorian. She was on seasons 1 and 2, I believe, but after she made some sussy posts on social media, she was subsequently fired. If you don't remember, allow me to refresh your memory. So The Hollywood Reporter published this article on February 10th of 2021 explaining the situation. They write, Gina Carano will not be returning to The Mandalorian or the Star Wars galaxy after sharing a post on social media implying that being Republican today is like being Jewish during the Holocaust. Yikes.
Yeah. Omega yikes. But okay. Continue.
Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans for her to be in the future, a Lucasfilm spokesperson said in a statement. Nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. Carano has also been dropped as a client by UTA, an agency spokesperson confirms. So sometimes you fuck around, sometimes you find out. That's just part of life. Gina Carano certainly found out after fucking around, but Ben Shapiro decided to swoop in and save the day because just days later, TMZ reported that she signed a movie deal with Ben Shapiro's outlet, The Daily Wire. Now, fast forward a year later to February of 2022, and The Daily Wire officially...
Oh, yeah, that's not a, whatchamacallit? That's not a critique against The Mandalorian. It's a good show, okay? It's a good show. This is nothing against The Mandalorian. It's a good show.
Released its first trailer for their movie starring Gina Carano called Terror on the Prairie, and they announced that it would be releasing in the summer, and it ended up coming out on June 14th. And I can't play the trailer for you, but I'll link to that down below. There's some copyrighted music in it that I think wouldn't allow me to play it, but either way, you can watch the trailer. I've seen it. It looks like dog shit. But either way, they essentially took a victory lap gloating about how they uncanceled Gina Carano. In an article for The Daily Wire titled, How the Daily Wire Uncanceled Gina Carano, Star of Terror on the Prairie, writer Ben Zeisloff proclaims that last year The Daily Wire promised to uncancel...
Writer for The Daily Wire. Lindsey Graham is turning orange in his latest appearance. Has he been meeting with Trump a lot, or what's the deal with that?
Gina Carano. Today, that promise is fulfilled. And that's really all that you can read from the article because the rest is behind a paywall, and best believe I'm not going to be paying to read the rest. So it was a happy ending for Gina Carano.
I mean, to be fair, there are ways around the paywall, if you know. No need to give people like the Daily Wire any money. I agree with that.
After all, she was fired from Disney, but now she's starring in a film for The Daily Wire. And now we have the numbers and we know how good that film did. And let me just tell you, that film did real bad. It did really, really bad. Here's the numbers here. The film Terror on the Prairie by The Daily Wire, according to box office website The Numbers, well, it reports here that the film made $804.
Oof.
Clorox disinfecting mist.
Oi! $804.
You heard that right. $800. $800. Look, I'm not the most arrogant person ever, but if I were to put out some movie, I think that Humanist Report followers would more enthusiastically support that film, even if it were objectively dog shit.
Hi, Mark Barden at Sandy Hook Promise.
Hey.
Here.
But either way,
Lockwood Digital, how's it going? My my shitting is causing absolute mayhem right now, right meow. I mean, your name is Mayhem Hippie. You can't really you can't really expect anything less.
$800. This is a former Hollywood actress who went from Star Wars to The Daily Wire, where she's making $800.
He keeps
And
attacking the
as I
dog when her
record this
back is
video
turned.
now,
Oh,
I'm
no.
realizing that on the poster behind me, one of the stars, I don't know if you can see that, their name is Cowboy Cerrone. That's literally your name. Okay, I'm just realizing that now.
No, Cowboy Cerrone is Cowboy Cerrone is Donald Cerrone, who is a former UFC fighter or MMA fighter, I think. Who goes by the name Cowboy, which is funny. Not bad. Just got my new PC. Mine took a dump while being shipped to my new place in Arkansas. Went from metropolitan Florida to small town Arkansas, and it's a weird culture shock. Culture shock. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I sent you the link about Lindsey Graham. Let's see.
On Monday evening, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham went
Hey. Whoa.
on Fox News and committed a bit of an oopsie. He said a profanity live on the air on cable news. It was aired. So Fox News is going to get a fine from the FCC because that's what happens when you...
Yeah, I think he is a former MMA fighter. Yes.
let the swear words fly. So, that's bad enough. And what's funny to me about this segment, which I will show you in just a minute, you watch Lindsey Graham look like an idiot. But there's something else about this segment that I'm a little, I just guess, confused about why nobody else picked up on it. And it's Lindsey Graham's appearance. There is something very different about the way Lindsey Graham looks today compared to pretty much how he's always looked. So here is the segment. Of course, be warned, Lindsey Graham lets a profanity fly. But focus less on the words and more on how Lindsey Graham looks. Here it is.
That's what Trump did. Trump didn't have a magic wand. He scared the shit out of Mexico. He told the Mexican government that if you don't help me, I'm going to put tariffs on every...
Oh, no. This clown on the left, professional creep Jesse Waters, just gave the most nervous laugh ever. Like, I'm gonna have to hear about this afterwards. And of course, Lindsey Graham, yeah, it almost looks like he's using a filter. Or like really bad makeup. I don't know. Maybe him and Trump are using the same, TV appearance kind of person. Yeah, the Cheeto filter. Yeah, he had quite... He was a UFC MMA fighter for a while, if I remember correctly.
Every product coming across the border. Guess what? The Mexican government all of a sudden said, hey, I'd like to help. Under Trump, you couldn't apply for asylum in the United States. You had to remain in Mexico.
All right.
Yeah, against international law and whatnot. Cool. Nice.
We're going to have to send you a bar of soap. And Dana Perino, who's watching very, very religiously, is very offended.
I forgot about that.
I understand.
Oh my God.
He's friggin' orange, folks. And you can see when he closes his eyes, right? When he blinks, a slow blink, you can see that the eyelids are not as dark as the rest of the face, which of course is a good indication that Lindsey Graham is using a fake tanner. But he's orange.
Yeah, it's the same tanner. It's the same tanner that Trump uses. I bet that Trump lets him use the same one. Jesus, since the late 2000s? Wow. It's Cheeto, that's true. TDS is bad juju. I don't know what that is.
Right? It's not just like, oh, okay, you're using a fake tanner. Maybe you got a spray tan. Hell, maybe you just came back from a
20%
vacation
when
in
you
the
refer a friend.
Bahamas, right? No, he's orange. Just like his buddy and idol, Donald Trump.
True.
So I know the headlines on this story. I've seen it on several different websites all talking about, oh, goodness, Lindsey Graham let a swear slip on live TV. Yeah, sure, that's a thing. That happened. We heard it. But he's orange. And I cannot stress that enough. Lindsey Graham is slowly morphing into Donald Trump.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
Literally before our eyes, he is now going to the same Trump school of cosmetology, apparently.
Yeah, no, he's just using the same tanner. I'm convinced. All right, that's the theory that I'm going with. All right.
Either that, or after that interview, he was going to apply for a job with Willy Wonka.
True.
But he's orange. Could it be, folks? Could it be that Lindsey Graham has idolized Donald Trump so hard
that he wants to look like him? I mean, listen, it's not out of pocket for these kind of people, right? It's not out of pocket. Have you seen the mannerisms of Ron DeSantis? Have you seen the hand mannerisms as he desperately tries to copy Trump? I mean, it's not exactly out of the realm of possibility here.
that he is now actually trying to emulate his look, like he's trying to become him. I mean, do we have to deal with that now? Like all those weird, stalker type movies that we've seen over the years where the stalker becomes so obsessed with the person they start to try to look like them. And
yeah, I mean, the Republican Party is basically Trump, so yeah.
They just become overly obsessed with them. I mean, next thing you know is Lindsey Graham going to go out there talking about the huge problem on the border.
I mean, yeah, they all talk like that, though. Lindsey Graham and Donald Trump were not friends. Graham pretends to be anybody's friend, including Kamala Harris and Nancy Pelosi. He's just an old Uni-Party buffoon who hates everyone. No, I think that you can maybe make the argument. You can maybe make the argument a while ago, and I'm talking about, like, pre-Trump era, but I'm not convinced that that is the case. The Republican Party is, for all intents and purposes, just the party of Trump. That's it. Like that's it.
Is he going to start tweeting like Donald Trump, randomly capitalizing words in the middle of his tweets? I mean, we are witnessing the complete and total de-evolution, almost the de-personification of Lindsey Graham as he morphs into Lindsey Trump. I guess next we can expect a really, really bad comb over. I mean, luckily Lindsey Graham has clearly more hair than Donald Trump, but I don't know, maybe he'll go thin it out himself just so he can look more like his buddy. But the orangeness, I'm sorry, I can't get over. And I feel like everybody who's only focusing on the swear word there, you're missing the fact that Lindsey Graham is trying to make himself look like Donald Trump. And that's probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. Hi, everyone.
It's hilarious.
This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe.
Yeah, do that. Well, I'm looking at Lindsey Graham's Twitter. No, he's not randomly capitalizing any letters yet. He had to testify against him in the Georgia trial, so now he wants to make amends. True. That's a good meme. Anyways, back to laughing at Gina Carano.
Now, listen, this is a very sensitive subject for Gina Carano because somebody pointed out, a pop culture critic who also works for The Hollywood Reporter, pointed out that it was pretty funny that this film did so poorly, and she did not take kindly to that. So in response to news that her movie only made $800, Richard Newby writes, "I'll never stop laughing at the fact that she could have had her own Star Wars series, toys, books, comics, apparel. She was that close. She didn't just fumble the bag, she dumped it out, put it over her head, and cut off her air supply."
True. This is freaking hilarious. I love it. And maybe Figueroa will touch up on this. I haven't seen this video completely. This is the way, indeed. Laughing at Gina Carano this is the way.
Now, he didn't at her on Twitter, but somehow she still saw that, and of course she responded saying, "Here is a contributor of THR, not the Humanist Report, by the way, the Hollywood Reporter, who repeatedly joins in an online mob of mostly anonymous accounts harassing me." She's accusing him of harassment.
What? That's hilarious.
"Are you aware that we released Terror on the Prairie exclusively on The Real Daily Wire, and you didn't know that? Or are ignorance and spreading hate your only... Or is spreading ignorance and hate your only purpose here?" I think that's what she's saying. She continues, "I didn't fumble the bag. I just didn't go along with the sellout narrative. The online mob couldn't handle that, so they petitioned to have me fired and won. I'm not sorry for that. I stood for what I believe the right thing to do was, and the more time that goes by, the better I feel, sure. The genuine bag fumble..."
I mean, this sounds like... This sounds like superhuman levels of copium. Okay? This sounds like superhuman levels of copium.
"Is sellout journalists like you who sold out America and stopped asking questions to be liked by a fickle, manipulated mob."
Ah, yes. The Hollywood Reporter. True.
That is what you valued, and that will be your legacy. Now, we're going to get to Newby's response here, but I just have to cut in and say that it's not a sellout narrative to think that Republicans today aren't treated as poorly as Jewish people were during the Holocaust, because that's just wrong and imbecilic. So I don't
it's super
know
messed
how
up, by the way.
I guess she's trying to pretend as if she was subversive and being counterculture by making an idiotic statement. But no, you just made a statement that was deeply idiotic and you got canceled for it. Move on, but she's not going to move on. Now, Newby responded saying, "It can't be harassment when I'm not tweeting at you, Gina. Name search at your own discretion. I don't care about whatever nonsense Ben Shapiro is pushing out. But please, I'd love to hear more from you about hatred and ignorance. Sounds like you've got a great grip on it." Now, he shared something that she retweeted from Blair White, a transgender conservative akin to Dave Rubin, who uses her identity to legitimize right-wing lies about their own community. Now, this particular tweet that she shared is spreading the lie that queer people want to groom children. Now, she wrote back to him saying, retweeting a trans person, Miss Blair White, saying, "I have no problem with drag shows or sex changes and just want to make sure children are being protected," is hateful. He responded saying, "We're not going to play these stupid games, Gina, and pretend this whole protect the children business when the LGBTQ community has never put anyone at risk is anything more than a right-wing tactic to deny people their rights." Finally, she responded by saying, "No one is pretending. Parents across America are concerned for their children. I don't even have children, and I'm concerned for them. The stupid games being played are by journalists like you who do not take their concerns seriously and at least have genuine dialogue with them." And at that point, I believe that their communication ended after he blocked her. Now, as you can see, she is deeply insecure about her current career place, and I would be too if I were her. She went from probably a multi-million-dollar contract with Disney to doing movies that make $800 at the Daily Wire. I don't care who you are. That's gotta sting. So you can tell she's very, very sensitive about this. And she's so sensitive that she's searching for criticism, actively so.
Globus,
and
how's it
when
going?
she finds said criticism, she's saying that they're harassing her for criticizing her. I don't think it works that way, but either way, don't talk about this movie. Otherwise, she's gonna come after you. Hell, she might see this video. I hope she doesn't, because I'm afraid that she's gonna beat me up. Either way, she doesn't want you to talk about this, and honestly, I can't blame her. I feel your pain, Gina Carano. Just maybe like don't say stupid things next time. But the video doesn't end here because I saved the best part for last. So Her co-star decided to chime in here and come to her defense. And no,
Yeah, it was from like the box office report, apparently.
I'm not talking about Cowboy Cerrone. I'm talking about the other one. So Mediaite reports, Terror on the Prairie co-star Nick Searcy told Mediaite he's already blocked by Newbie and minced no words when defending Carano. Quote, all of these Hollywood parasites can kiss my whole ass and bark at the hole. And you can quote
Jesus.
me, the filmmaker said, I would rather stand with Gina Carano than any of those groupthink worms. First of all, I'm laughing because as I was reading that, I almost called her Gina Carano. And then on top of that, his
Oh my
comment
God.
threw me off. All these
Did they
Hollywood
report the streaming
parasites can
revenue?
kiss
I don't
my
know. I
whole
think
ass.
like box office, because it's not, it doesn't release on theaters. So how else would you, how else would, there is no other way to, get revenue from that movie, right? They didn't release it in theaters. There's only one avenue in which you could have watched that movie, meaning that the only way is by paying for it. Allegedly, it also released on Daily Wire Plus.
And bark at
Yeah, it's like a free movie, right?
and bark at the hole. Am I missing something here? I've never heard somebody say that they can kiss my whole ass and bark at the hole. Are you literally saying that they can bark at your butthole? I mean, comment down below. Am I just out of the loop here? Is this
True,
something that
there's
people
VHS.
say? You can bark at my butthole after you kiss it. Wow, that one got to me there. I'm crying almost. So there you have it. Gina Carano's movie flopped, and she's really sensitive about that. So don't talk about it. Even if you're not adding her, don't you dare bring it up, because she will search out your criticism, accuse you of harassment, and then debate you about whether or not LGBTQ plus people are grooming children. This is a very silly world that we live in, and I'm just so happy that it's as entertaining as it is at a minimum, because sure, things could be better. We could live in a functioning democracy with healthcare and equal rights. But I mean, at least we
I
get
love when Mike laughs on this shit. It's
entertainment,
amazing.
right?
Hey, how's it going,
At a
Sir
minimum,
Farmer
we're entertained. Are you not entertained? I'm pretty entertained by this. So, yeah. Look, I watched Terror on the Prairie, and it was so good. I'm sad that it failed. I can't even say it with a straight face. Of course, I didn't watch it. But if you did watch it, let me know. Was it good? The trailer made it look very boring and bad, but either way, I do feel bad for Gina Carano. I've got to admit that. Even if this was kind of her own fault and her hot takes are really too hot, I mean, all of this could have been avoided if she just didn't say deeply stupid and offensive things. So either way,
Just got home.
live and
Nice.
learn, or don't learn. Either way, love this story.
All right. So I guess he didn't say it. I'll say it. It's like the first thing that came to mind when I saw this. Hey, what happened to Get Woke, Go Broke? Huh. Interesting. I wonder what's the retort to that, right? I would wager that the other Daily Wire movies aren't that great either. Either way, hilarious. Hilarious stuff. Moving on to more hilarious stuff. More Republicans call for George Santos to resign over lies and fabrications. Who would pay to see a Daily Wire movie? Not me, that's for sure. Not me. To which again, I ask, what happened to Go Woke, Go Broke? Huh, interesting. Thanks for the follow, for the shout out, no problem. House Republican calls for George Santos to resign are growing after state GOP leaders in New York said he should step aside over a slew of lies and fabrications in the biography he ran in 2022. Yeah, they don't really care about that. Principles, not a thing. As long as George Santos provides the vote that McCarthy needs, principles can just kind of be yeeted out the window for the Republican Party. Representative Mike Lawler also starting his first term, dropped his earlier hedging and unequivocally said that today that Santos should resign. You have to own the libs by watching hot garbage. True. Each daily Wire movie you watch incredibly owns the libs. Yes, that's how that works. It is clear that George Santos has lost the confidence and support of his party, his constituents, and his colleagues. With the extent and severity of these allegations against him, his inability to take full responsibility for his conduct. What? Taking personal responsibility? What? Damn. For his conduct and numerous investigations underway, I believe he is unable to fulfill his duties and should resign. Representative Nancy Mace said today that Santos should resign one day after she deferred to the Ethics Committee to investigate him in a process she said could take weeks or months. It is a problem for us in Congress because the American people, they don't trust anybody. Well, gee, I wonder why. Maybe people like George Santos are a pretty good example. They think all politicians lie. Yeah, there are good guys among us who are trying to do the right thing. Like who? The Republicans? He should resign, but obviously he won't. Santos insisted that he won't resign until the same 142,000 people who elected him tell me that they don't want me. The New York Board of Elections showed that 145,824 voters supported him in November. Speaker McCarthy is not calling on him to quit because, of course, McCarthy needs his votes. Needs his vote. So, yeah. The only thing true about Santos is he is a dyed-in-the-wool Republican. They hate him because he got caught and he did things stupidly. Yep. Define the right thing. Yeah, good point. Okay, there's a falsehood and then there's fraud. Well, he did both. if that helps clear things up. He did both. He is currently under investigation for dubious FEC filings. And apparently, he also committed fraud of some sort in Brazil. So it's kind of like his MO. And he lied just about everything on his resume. So to clear that up, yeah, it's both. It's both. McCarthy, quote, saying he got a long way to go. He's got a long way to go to earn trust, but the one thing I do know is that you apply the Constitution equal to all Americans. What? What does this have to do with the... Okay. The voters of his district have elected him. Yeah, based on based on what he lied about. That's the problem. They elected him based on things that he lied about. Hoggy even. The voters of his district have elected him. He is seated. He's part of the Republican conference. There are concerns with him, so he will go before the ethics committee. If anything is found to be wrong, he will be held accountable exactly as anybody else in this body would be. Really? He lied, conned, defrauded, and gaslighted. Consult Tsatsouris. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the whole thing. A pack of lies. Yes, the whole thing from beginning to end. Nothing about his resume or anything like that is real. So that's the lies, and of course the fraud part is the hot water he's found himself in with these FEC investigations or whatnot. Santos presents a political dilemma for Republicans. What? A political dilemma? No, there's no political dilemma here to be. There's no political dilemma. They've solved it. They just yeeted any principles out the window. That's how they solved it. There's no dilemma here. They don't care. National news about his various deceptions have tarnished his image and created embarrassment for a party that doesn't want to be defined by him. They don't care? In New York, the GOP overperformed expectations in the midterm election and picked up 4 House seats, but McCarthy is overseeing a wafer-thin majority with no more than 4 votes to lose before needing a Democratic vote to pass legislation, and Santos so far has proved to be a reliable vote for him. That's it. That's the end. That's the beginning and end of that political dilemma. That's it. That's as far as it goes. He is a reliable vote, and McCarthy needs him. That's it. There's no dilemma here. The principles that any perceived principles, because these people don't have any principles whatsoever, are thrown out the window. It's not necessary. There's no political dilemma going on here. I'm pretty sure he's a chameleon in disguise. Santos flipped the Democratic-held seat in Long Island. If he resigns, it could be up for grabs in a special election. Republican Representative Brandon Williams, who represents a swing district in upstate New York, said Wednesday that he agrees with Nassau Republicans' call for Santos to step aside. He must resign, said in a statement citing biographical exaggerations and apparent deceptions. Some Republicans are hedging on Santos, expressing concerns about him, but stopping short of calling him to quit because they need him. That includes first-term Representative Mark Molinaro of New York. I don't think there's any way he can possibly perform his duty, but the man's got to be honest with himself and his constituents, and it's clear to me that he can't do his job. And on Wednesday, Representative Brian Fitzpatrick, a co-chair of the Bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus, that's a good meme, said Santos deserves the due process of an investigation before being forced to resign, even though he argued that the congressman's conduct was egregious. I don't think he should be here, that's for sure, but there's a process in place that has to apply to equally to all members of both parties in both chambers. We should have a, quote, expedited review. Yeah, also there's no point in consulting the ethics committee if their ethics suck. True. Anyways, more calls for this guy to just step aside. Honestly, he really should resign. This is an embarrassment to the Republican Party. I mean, and it just really illustrates, like, when the chips are down, they don't really give a shit. Hey, Read and Rap, how's it going? When the chips are down, they don't really give a shit. It's that simple. They'll throw away any semblance of principles, and will allow this behavior. That's it, because they need his vote. And they can't afford to be in such a razor-thin majority. That's it. Right, Kevers needs the boat. Exactly. He's Trey Duck to look like Clark Kent. True. That's it. It's as simple as that. Okay, so we went over this. All right. He also won't resign because the moment they do, they'll extradite him to Brazil. Oh, yeah. Now, if Santos was a Dem, what would the Republicans be saying? Oh, we all know. We all know. If Santos was a Democrat, 100%, this would be wall-to-wall coverage about how the radical left, socialist, communist, Democrat, adrenochrome, drinking party, is letting in con men. I mean, like, this would be wall-to-wall coverage on Fox News. We would not hear the end of it. Tucker Carlson would be having his whole entire segment about this. But, yeah, 72 hours a day of Dem corruption opinions, true. But since it's not, Tucker is instead tackling very important topics, such as M&Ms again. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Truly riveting stuff at Fox News. He also won't resign because the moment they do, they'll extradite him to Brazil. Yeah, he has that fraud case pending. He really just wants to F those M&Ms? Yeah, seriously. The candy purity guardians? True. M&M's what now? Yes. Yes. Tucker Carlson felt the need to make an entire segment about lesbian M&M's. I'm not kidding. Yes, the candy. I'm not kidding. The candy. All of Fox News, not just Tucker. Yes, you're right. There were several hosts on several in several segments. Yes, this happened. Hold on. No, this was 11 months ago. This literally just happened. Do they reproduce, not manufactured? Are we eating their children? No, the M&Ms apparently the characters, the M&M characters. Hold on, I gotta find it. Give me a second. He's complaining about an animated character. Yeah, he is. Here. Oh, these ads are killing me. It's January, so you know what that means. Tucker Carlson is bitching about how he can't get horny for the lady M&Ms again. While you and I are worrying about how we're going to get through the gloom of January, prepare our taxes, or just, survive, Tucker Carlson and Fox News in general are very mad about something I'm willing to bet, unless you run a very specific fan fiction site in a very niche corner of the internet, have probably not spent more than 30 seconds in your total entire life thinking about. And yet, it's becoming a yearly trend for Tucker and Fox News. It's good to have, hobbies. Yeah. This is what triggered Tucker Carlson. I'm not kidding. The Mars Corporation did a full wrapper printing of a flip female M&M, and Fox News completely lost their shit for a whole day. Yeah. Why? Because conservatism. Yeah. That's it. There's no logic to this other than how can we turn this into an outrage machine because of the woke mob idea, whatever. I don't know. Insert whatever buzzwords you need. But yeah, this unironically is a thing. Yes. And mind you, this screenshot literally says outnumbered. Yeah. 11 months ago, we also had that M&M's controversy. Even Gutfeld decided to make a segment about it. The woke M&Ms. That's literally the title of the video. They didn't want to report on Santos and the Brazilian uprising and any number of things they should have covered. Yeah. The real riveting and important topic of, obviously, of the day is the all female M&Ms. Yeah. Yeah. Truly riveting stuff here. Anywho, I don't even know how we got lost in this tangent. I guess we're just going over like some meme stories. But yeah, just to kind of top it off. I like my keto brownies and ice cream. Hey, unironically, lactose-free ice cream, cookies and cream ice cream, pretty good. All right, so let's top off kind of like the meme articles. Almond-based ice cream, yes. top off the meme stories. This one's like a half meme story, okay?
This episode is brought to you.
Whoa. Hold on. We're getting there. This is a half meme article, okay? Green M&Ms are the best. They all taste the same, okay? Personally, I'm not gonna lie, okay? I'm not a big candy fan, okay? I don't really indulge or eat a lot of candies. I don't eat a lot of candy, or sweets or anything like that. It's not really my thing. Only very specific things that I'm really that'll really go for. But other than that, I'm like very, very limited when it comes to sugar or anything sweet. But yeah, M&Ms, not at the top of the list, unfortunately. All right, hey chat, focus. Focus. Progressives eagerly await their chance to harass McCarthy, while Democratic leadership seems content to let Speaker McCarthy stew in his party's disarray. Liberals, are excited to launch a new headache-causing House tool that, by the way, is put in place by the same Republicans. So, yeah, you made your bed, now lie in it, kind of deal. McCarthy's concession to conservatives did more than just win him the Speaker's gavel. They empowered the House progressives to wreak havoc, and they're eager to mess with him. Republicans' new rules allowed just one member, regardless of party, to force a floor vote of deposing the Speaker. A vote, recall vote, or vote of no confidence, if you want to think of it that way. And liberal Dems, some of which are part of the progressive squad, are warning that they have no problem with using this move against McCarthy, even if they don't expect it to succeed. Why not? You know, that sounds like a good idea. You're still going to need, 218 to pass? But listen, man, he has a very slim majority, mused Representative Jamal Bowman. Whenever we want to cause complete chaos, we'll just do that. Nice. Good memes. This gambit, known as the motion to vacate, yeah, that's the official name, sorry. Motion to vacate, would almost certainly fail this early in the new Congress, as Republicans can use a procedural move to toss the motion before it actually gets a vote, and Dems would need GOP support to reach the required majority. But progressive zeal confirms a fear from McCarthy's allies that a rule he greenlighted to assuage conservatives could easily cause frequent headaches. Still, while progressives dream of stirring up trouble in their cross-aisle colleagues, Democratic leaders seem happy to let him stew in the speaker chair for a bit amid divisions in his own conference. They say that they aren't considering using the move, at least for now. Democratic leadership aide noted that it was clear that the party didn't need help Republicans. The party didn't need to help Republicans with their infighting, and suggested such a motion from the minority party could strengthen McCarthy's hand. It's the furthest thing from my mind at this point, said House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Another senior Democrat, House Rules and Committee ranking member Jim McGovern, said, "I want to get stuff done, so it's not where I'm at." I mean, but come on. Think of the memes, alright? Live a little. I would never be in the same building with a Republican bed, let alone in it. True. House lawmakers rarely invoke this motion to vacate, and never successfully. In previous years, then House Minority Leader Pelosi and Speaker John Boehner of Ohio had an unspoken informal agreement. Pelosi would defend Boehner from potential motions to vacate in order to back the institution of the House. That is so aggravating. Cool. Thanks, Nancy. We need a strong Republican Party, Pelosi. Thanks. Jesus Christ, the civility politics. Unreal. While conservative hardliners did push for this motion in 2015 against Boehner, he resigned the gavel before it ever came to a vote. When Democrats came back in the majority of 2019, they severely weakened the motion to vacate, essentially requiring a party leader to sign off on any attempt to bring it to the floor. The Freedom Caucus members had pushed in House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy to deploy it against Pelosi in 2020, but he assumedly never acquiesced to their demands. By the time McCarthy passes over the gavel, who will have cried more in Congress, McCarthy or Boehner? I don't know. Good memes. That's all I have to say. The McCarthy spokesperson did not respond to a request for comment on whether or not he was concerned about Democratic attempts to boot him from the speakership. The use of the motion to vacate could end up being a test of progressive power in this Congress as some enter their first term in the House minority. Some Lib Democrats said they viewed it as one of their many options to resist the Republican majority. All of these procedural mechanisms are here are merely tools, and so it's about when it's appropriate to reach for a certain tool, said AOC. It's really a matter of when it may be appropriate. In some way, the threat are reminiscent of hardline tactics used by the Freedom Caucus to disrupt the House operations. Except this time, unlike their colleagues on the right, progressive lawmakers are ready to deploy that strategy against the opposing party rather than their own leadership, whom they've unanimously backed so far. And they recognize their limited power to frustrate McCarthy too. I wouldn't just use it to use it as a symbolic type thing, said Representative Cori Bush, adding that they still need the votes to actually make it work, but that's not off the table. I mean, if you're out there creating headaches for the Republicans, I mean, yeah, cool. Yeah, go for it. Because, like, honestly, the Republicans aren't going to bring up any useful legislation. The Republicans aren't there to bring up any legislation that would meaningfully positively impact Americans. They're not. They don't give a shit. The Republicans aren't there to help Americans. The Republicans aren't there to pass any good legislation whatsoever. And if that's the case, then yeah, yes, continue to do this. This would be hilarious, because like even if the Republicans managed to pass like one thing or two, like they tried to pass the new abortion bullshit. That's not going to fly in the Senate, okay? So whatever they do pass, is not going anywhere. In other words, the House, for all intents and purposes, is pretty paralyzed as it is. You might as well fuck with them. That's my position. You might as well mess with them the entire way. You might as well mess with them. The countdown to the government shutdown at this point? Oh yeah, that's going to be another thing. Whew. And there's a simple logic to Democrats wanting to stay out of it. Why intervene when they can watch the Republican infighting from the sidelines and bid their time waiting for the 2024 elections? Well, we might, said Progressive Caucus Chair Pramila Jayapal. It depends on where we are, but I think it's really going to be a question of how McCarthy navigates it within his own caucus, and whether he's actually the speaker or just a name-only speaker because he's reliant on any one member at any time. Yeah, I mean, whatever you can do to fuck with this, with this party, you should. 100%. Just remember, the debt ceiling has to be raised. If not, USA economy will go into recession or depression. Damn. Maybe you Republicans should probably do something about it. Yeah. You know? I'm just saying that I'm of the position that I don't believe that the Republicans are there to help. So they're not going to propose anything useful. I mean, like, on day one, the first thing that they prioritized was this anti-abortion bill, and they're proposing to abolish the IRS and income taxes. Yeah. Yeah. That's all I gotta say. Hello, 2-day oil account. hello 2-day old account that happens to have a very suspect username. Hey, listen, buddy. I'm gonna tell you right now. If you're gonna come here to troll, you're not gonna have a good time. Okay, so you might as well move on. If you're gonna come here to troll, you're not gonna have a good time. You might as well move on. I mean, unless you have like some kind of like humiliation fetish or something, maybe that's your thing. Okay, maybe that's your thing. But if you're gonna come here to troll, you're gonna have a really bad time. Just saying. You've been warned. The replacement for the IRS plan is a 14% usage tax. Yeah, it's garbage. Okay. Anyone with like some basic economic knowledge, some basic economics would understand why that's dog shit. Hey, Alio, how's it going? A literal child could probably understand the logic as to why that's pretty much dog shit. House Republicans are spotlighting the issue of abortion as they roll out their legislative agenda in the new Congress, a move that comes after the Supreme Court's highly consequential decision last year to overturn Roe v. Wade. The GOP-led House on Wednesday to pass a bill that would require healthcare providers to try to preserve the life of an infant in the rare case. Damn, dude, really solving the issues, right? In the case that the baby is born alive during an attempted abortion. It's dog shit, I suppose, if you support spending trillions on defense and special interest programs, but I don't. That has nothing to do with the IRS. Wait, do you not know how this works? What? Do you not know how that works? You can simultaneously, and this is true, you can simultaneously say, hey, maybe we should not be spending hundreds of billions of dollars on defense. And simultaneously say, yeah, the country needs a functional IRS with proper funding that can go after rich, wealthy people who like to hoard money. And quite frankly, should be audited more. You can also say that, yeah, these two things are not... these two things are separate. You can both say that I don't want a hundreds of billions or whatever wasted on the defense budget, and also be like, yeah, we kind of need an IRS. Yeah, we kind of need a progressive taxation program geared towards obviously taxing the wealthy more. And yeah, these are two completely separate points. I mean, of course, it's kind of weird that you don't understand that. It's kind of sad. Yeah, it happens only in the third trimester of the rarest form of abortion. Right, really solving America's problems over here. The Republican Party. In the rare case that the baby is born alive during or an attempted abortion, the bill is not expected to be taken up on the Senate, but passage in the House serves as a messaging opportunity for the new Republican majority. Yeah, so one could say virtue signaling. The vote was 220 to 210 under the new bill. Health providers who fail to comply with the requirements for care could face fines or up to 5 years in prison. The bill would not impose penalties on the mother and would grant the mother protection from any kind of prosecution. Opponents have argued that such measure restrict abortion access by threatening healthcare providers. It's a chilling effect. It's already considered homicide to intentionally kill an infant that is born alive. Yeah. Giving solutions to problems that don't exist. Cool. Thanks, Republican Party. Dunta Freeman, thank you for the follow. Welcome. The decision by the new Republican majority to hold the vote comes after Dems worked to make an abortion a front and center issue during the midterms. Following Roe's reversal, Republicans succeeded in taking back control of the House in midterms, but a much anticipated red wave failed. to materialize into questions and finger pointing within the GOP over exactly which factors play a key role. Yeah, no doubt, abortion played a factor. No doubt. And I guess these people decided that, yeah, we're just gonna keep shooting ourselves in the foot. I mean, yeah, this is the priority of the Republican Party, folks. Abortion is murder? No, really, murder is murder. Abortion is an abortion. Cool. If you're gonna come here to troll, I already warned the other clown. If you're gonna come here to troll, guaranteed you're gonna have you're gonna have a bad time. If you're gonna come here to troll, guaranteed you're gonna have a really bad time. Okay, unless you have just like your friend over there, just like your friend, yeah, the clown patrol. Seriously, just like your friend over there, unless you have some type of humiliation fetish, then I suggest you move on. It makes life easier for everybody involved, okay? That's cute. Did you make up all those names yourself that you tried? Here, I'll let one go through. I'll let one go through. The other one is a TOS. That one's a no-no. All right? What are you, like 12? Come on. Drop the Doritos and just, I don't know, move along and play your Call of Duty or whatever the fuck. All right? You'll be all right. Move along. Yeah, death by traffic stop is murder. True. Woke loser. I'm telling you, listen, folks, was I not fair enough to warn these people? Okay? Was I not fair enough to warn these people? Sad. Yeah, beyond fair. I mean, listen, unless these people that keep coming to this channel have some sort of humiliation fetish because they keep showing up, I mean, hey, I ain't gonna judge. I'm just saying. If you come here to troll, you're not gonna have a good time. These bills make it plain House Republicans are patently rejecting the will of the overwhelming majority of Americans who voted to support legal abortion in November. The organization's president, Minnie Tamaraju, said, meanwhile, our Democratic reproductive freedom champions in the House are already willing to fight to restore and expand access to abortion, and we thank them for that. Yeah, they want that band cred. That's why, it's so much easier to just continue to dunk on them until they move on, because I don't want to give them that. I don't want to give them that. If you time them out, that's fine. That's perfect. But yeah, I don't want to give them that satisfaction, People who think that they own bridges should not be surprised when people refuse to pay the toll. True. Yeah, I can just... No, my favorite one, because I also moderate for other channels. I just keep timing them out, on a loop. I just keep incrementing the time that they get timed out until they get until they just move on. It's hilarious. Can you give them a 640,000 second timeout? I think you can make a... Hold on. You can make it timeout for 600 seconds. No, I think you could make it a custom number. Pretty sure. I just keep making it more and more and more until they're bored and move on. But I hate to give them the satisfaction of earning that band badge, Because I know that's what they want. The House also voted on Wednesday to pass a separate measure condemning the recent attacks on pro-life facilities, groups, and churches. Republicans control only razor-thin majority in the House and are divided between moderates and conservatives. Were on full display in the I love how man, this is wild. I love the framing of this. I love how they divide this between moderates and conservatives. CNN. My brothers in Christ. They are conservatives. That's it. We're on full display in the chaotic day-long effort to elect McCarthy as Speaker. Now the new GOP majority faces the challenge of bringing up bills to the floor that will unite, not divide their conference, and Republicans are attempting to thread the needle. Nancy Mace, a South Carolina Republican, who has been a vocal critic of her party's abortion messaging, and yet she's still a part of the Republican Party. I made this comment the other day. It's just, okay, all right, whatever. Called on Republican leadership to balance, quote, women's rights and the right to life, warning Wednesday that there are political dangers for Republicans if they don't find some, quote, middle ground on the issue. Well, there was, okay? It was Roe v. Wade, okay? They're not interested in that. They're not interested in that. They don't give a shit about women's rights, okay? You're talking to a wall. If you go up to a conservative and you start talking about women's rights, they don't give a shit about that. They're not interested in that. Yeah, I know, Maple Leaf Dragon. It's like the framing of it is just wild. Wild by CNN. The moderates and conservatives. Yeah, cool, dudes. Anywho. Notice how our friend Leroy got awfully quiet. Damn. Real conservatives need to reclaim the conservative brand, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know what that is, because, like, I've heard this line of argumentation, but, like, you know, I mean, this is well known in history. Like, this is conservatism. This is the end goal of conservatism. This is the end game of conservatism. We've seen this line of thought before. We've seen the same process, right? Remember, in a certain era, in, let's say, about 1920s, something about like that. The same line of argumentation, right? You know what they ended up doing? They ended up siding. They ended up siding with the Nazis because they thought, just like the GOP thought that they can control the Freedom Caucus or control their more fringe elements. Yeah. Didn't really work out for them. What is it? What's that, it's not euphemism. Analogy, leopard ate my face? Yeah. Leopard ate my face? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that. I have been very vocal, both privately with my leadership and publicly. This is an issue that we lost on. We buried our heads in the sand. Right, like, she's illustrating the problem here. She's literally illustrating the problem, and it just goes right over her head. They don't care. You cannot control what you can't define and predict. I mean, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, the conservatives in Weimar, in the Weimar years, they thought, you know, shit. We'll be fine. And they ended up just being like them. Except for erasing Trump's impeachment. Yeah, well, then I don't know if you can do that. Can you? Anyways, she's illustrating the problem right here. Like, it can't be more explicit. I've been if you give them an inch, they will take the rest. Yes. At proverbial and sometimes unproverbial gunpoint. Yes, as we saw in January 6th. Yeah. She's illustrating the problem right here. She's been very vocal that we've lost on this. The American people aren't on our side. We need to balance, and we need to I'm assuming that she actually, because I mean, it's hard to believe that she wouldn't want women's rights, but conservatives aren't interested in that at all. Mace voted for both abortion-related bills that were in the House, but expressed concern over a potential federal abortion ban if it included language that requires a woman to report their rapes or and then she votes for them. Oh man, Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh my God, and then she goes and votes for them. And she's a rape victim as like the icing on the cake. Someone's gonna have to like square that circle for me. Someone's really gonna have to explain that one to me. A conservative woman who was a rape victim and also voted for these ridiculous abortion-related bills. Okay. But expressed concern over a potential federal abortion ban, then why are you supporting this party? If it includes language that would require a woman to report their rapes or imprison doctors to provide... Yeah, but that's what they want! That is literally verbatim the position of the Republican Party. In some states, they did pass this. This makes absolutely no sense. Asked how she thinks the GOP can better address women's rights. For the umpteenth time, they don't believe in women's rights because fundamentally, they don't think women are people. Asked how she thinks the GOP can better address women's rights. Mace, who is a rape victim, who has spoken openly, said she's working on legislation related to rape kits, as well as legislation expanding birth control access. Well, that's something I agree with. Yeah, this is like basic healthcare. Birth control should be like a universal thing. Yes. We'll see how seriously those things are taken. Again, Republicans do not give a shit. It's the same logic that gives women legislators who don't believe women should vote or be in leadership roles at all. Yeah, I guess. It's just bizarre to me every time I see it. It just completely confuses me. Is it the idea of like, yep, I got mine, so I'm just gonna, you know, boop, push the ladder off. See, I don't have to deal with anything, so fuck it. Boop. All right, folks. They're just towing the line, nothing more. Sad. I mean, this made the news, but it's not news. But still, it's incredibly important to talk about. Yeah. Revealed! Wow, shocker! Exxon made breathtaking accurate climate predictions in the 70s and 80s. Oil giant Exxon privately predicted global warming correctly and skillfully, only to then spend decades publicly rubbishing such science in order to protect its core business. No way! Wow. Really? I don't believe that. Oh god, this is so infuriating. I have to like be sarcastic. Jesus Christ. A trove of internal documents and research papers had previously established that Exxon knew of the dangers of global heating from at least the 1970s, with other oil industry bodies knowing of the risk even earlier from the 50s. They forcefully and successfully mobilized against the science to stymie any action to reduce fossil fuel use. Hold on, I don't think I'm reading this properly. Hold on. Not only that, like, it's infuriating to see, like, people like fucking Kim Iverson. She just came up on my feed, that stupid video. Ugh. God. Okay. Anyways. Let's get in the zone. Alright? The oil giant Exxon privately predicted global warming correctly and skillfully, only to spend decades publicly rubbishing such science in order to protect its core business. A new study, however, has made clear that Exxon scientists were uncannily accurate in their predictions from the 70s onwards, predicting an upward curve of global temperature and carbon dioxide emissions that is close to matching what actually occurred as the world's heated up at a pace not seen in millions of years. Exxon scientists have predicted that there would be global heating of about 0.2 degrees Celsius a decade due to the emission of heat of planet-heating gases from the burning of oil, coal, and other fossil fuels. This new analysis published in Science find that Exxon science was highly adept, and the projections were also consistent with and at least as skillful as those of the independent academic and governmental models. Holy shit. And again, I'd like to also reiterate, they knew about this and were pretty dead on since the 1970s. Okay? Since the 1970s. Jeffrey Supran, whose previous research of historical industry documents helped shed light on what Exxon and other oil firms knew, and it was breathtaking to see Exxon's projection line up so closely with what subsequently happened. This really does sum up what Exxon knew years before many of us were even born. And like, what's so infuriating about this whole thing is that we're consistently gaslit. We're told that, like, this isn't happening. And the same companies are still around today making record profits. Unfreaking real. Unfreaking real. Anyways, yeah, I'm pretty much like in favor at this point. I'm pretty much in favor, unironically, of just like nationalizing all of this. Fuck it, I don't care. At this point, like, there's no. That's it. There's no need. There's no need. There's no need whatsoever. That's on the politicians. Yes, that's also on the politicians. But it's squarely on Exxon and the other oil companies who knew about this, and who then consequently bought the politicians. Yes, the politicians have their share to blame. No doubt about it. No doubt about it, and they should not be excused. But yeah, before that, they could model at roughly the same time they, quote, discovered lead in gasoline was killing everyone in neurological disorders and making the populace stupider. Yep, and they didn't give a shit about that either. Hey, how's it going? Laura Lee Lime, how's it going? So just to recap, because I kind of was semi-memeing, but not really. Honestly, fuck it. They should nationalize all these people. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. They should nationalize all these oil companies, and yeah, enough of that. Jeffrey Supran, whose previous research of historical industry documents helped shed light on what Exxon knew, Exxon and other oil firms knew, and said it was breathtaking to see Exxon projections line up so closely with what subsequently happened. You want to know about German lignite because it's bleak? Ignite? I don't know what that means. I wonder how many oil executives have Santa Cruz mansions. I have no idea what that is, if you would like to enlighten us. This really does sum up what Exxon knew years before many of us were even born, said Supran, who led the analysis conducted by researchers from Harvard University and the Potsdam Institute for Climate Impact Research. We now have the smoking gun, showing that they have accurately predicted warming years before they started attacking the science. This is just wild because, like, we've talked about this. We talked about how Exxon knew, for decades about the impacts of their products, of the fossil fuels. Oh, oh yeah. Now I get it, Michael Hassler. Sheesh. I mean, they don't care, you know. the thing is, like our friend was trying to make, like, you know, the point yesterday. So what if they have, like, houses there? You know, who cares? They can just buy houses elsewhere. You know, whatever. They don't give a shit. Maybe they do have houses there. Brown coal, and they're currently violently clearing a village. Jesus. Yikes. Lignite is a brown coal and used in Germany, the most dirty kind when burned. Yikes. Giga yikes. Holy yikes. That's not good. It can't be more explicit than this, folks. It really can't. I mean, like, this mayhem hippie redeeming the get up. All right. I'm gonna get up. Before I continue this, but first, all right. Since you're making me get up, I'm just gonna take a quick walk around the set. Take like 5 seconds. And now the reactives are blocking a whole village. Nice. You seem stressed. You know, it's funny because, like, I'm very animated. Because, well, yeah, this is important to me. But according to this, my BPMs are pretty okay. They're at 80 BPM. My heart rate. We're doing good. I'm gonna take a quick lap around the set, and by lap I mean like just a quick turnaround. Seemed good. A good time to spend some channel points. True. I'm from Karachi, Pakistan. I would like to follow your channel if you don't. Literally nothing is stopping you. The beanies containing the hair on fire. True. I am stressed, and they're here with 2,000 riot police. Sheesh. I'm sorry. That's stressful. I don't think you personally have to ask permission to follow their channel. You're good. But yeah, holy yikes, 2,000 riot police. Sheesh. Give us a fluffy. I need to work on that. Cosmic Seeking. I need to work on that. There's gonna be a reworking on that. Thank you for the follow, folks. There's gonna be a reworking on that. So give me time to figure that one out. In the meantime, if you guys want to support the channel in a way that doesn't involve any money whatsoever, please hit the follow button, as these folks did, and head on over to that YouTube channel and click the subscribe button. I'll be right back. Yeah, we gotta find something like that. Maybe I can just bring in one of the cats as a cute animal video. Hold on. True. It's almost Friday. Why not make it rain? True. All right. Here's my offer. Okay. What if before I sign off, what if I bring in one of the cats? Okay. Would that count as a cute animal video? It'll be live. It's not like a pre-recorded video, but it'll be live. Would that be a sufficient would that be a sufficient alternative? Yesterday morning it was, one tomorrow it rains, and then all the kitties. Yes, I do love kitties. All right, I mean, I could do that. That I can do. Also, I want to say thank you to all you wonderful folks who have been here and supporting the channel. Thank you, guys. You guys are what makes this go. Thank you for all your subscriptions, biddies, everything, follows, all that. Please restrict the gratuitous displays of cat. But that means they like you, though, right? I'm kidding. Bakita doesn't do that. I'll bring her in when we sign off. That means they like the camera. True. Maybe I could make a filter. I don't know. They are real and people buy them, not me, but other people. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. You can buy them in like these pet shops or whatnot. I think I've gotten an ad for that. Because of course, when you start talking about cats and whatnot, you know, Google gives you these ads. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep. Maybe I should get one with the maybe I should get one with the ADT logo. Okay? How about that? Anyways, all right, totally serious. Totally serious. This really does sum up what what Exxon knew years before any of us were born. Supran said, who led the analysis conducted by researchers from Harvard University and Potsdam Institute for Climate Impact Research. We now have the smoking gun showing that they accurately predicted warming before years and they started attacking the science. Years before they started attacking the science. These graphs confirm the complicity of what Exxon knew and how they misled. I mean, if this isn't triggering like massive like hearings, government hearings and whatnot, then like, damn, you know. The research analyzed more than 100 internal documents and peer-reviewed scientific publications either produced in-house by Exxon scientists and managers or co-authored by Exxon scientists in independent publications between 1977 and 2014. Holy shit, they fucking knew. And I don't mean like, yeah, of course, you know, they admitted to this like years and years ago. I mean like, we've got undisputable proof. And yet they continue to do business as usual. In fact, they pushed for more. Because at the end of the day, it's not about, you know, the health of the planet or anything like that. At the end of the day is the almighty line. That's it. That's it. It's the almighty line. Is it going up? Great. The analysis found that Exxon correctly rejected this idea the world was heading for an imminent ice age, which was a possibility mooted in 1970s, instead predicting that the planet was facing a carbon dioxide-induced super interglacial. Company scientists also found that global heating was human-influenced and would be detected around the year 2000, and they predicted the carbon budget for holding the warming below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial times. Holy shit. That's just wild how, like, specific that is. In the 1970s. maybe get Arizona to lend you yeah, there we go. Yeah. True, we're too busy with pet rocks and inflation. True. I'm old. I'm semi. Sorry, folks. Okay. Armed with this knowledge, Exxon embarked upon a lengthy campaign to downplay or discredit what its own scientists had confirmed. As recently as 2013, Rex Tillerson, who was part of the Trump administration, then chief executive of the oil company, said that climate models were, quote, not competent and there are uncertainties over the impact of burning fossil fuels. Like, that shit, unironically, giga triggers me. Unironically, that shit, like, giga triggers me. The fact that this guy had the absolute audacity to sit there with a straight face, knowing what the actual information is, the actual data, and then sit there and literally say, quote, there were not competent models and uncertainties over the impact of burning fossil fuels. We all knew this. We just have proof now. Yeah, this is like indisputable. Like this is as close to being 100 as possible. I'm having a hard time imagining what the 80s would have been like if there was social media. They always have put oil profit above the environment. Oh yeah. This is capitalism. Can you imagine Brad's Red Dawn hair with Instagram filters? We used to have congressmen who wrote literary books, but they don't plan for the future. But they didn't plan for the future. Yeah, I mean, like, what's wild is that they knew. That's what's angering about this whole thing. This is like I'm just saying right now, like now that we know, so to speak, like there's just undeniable evidence, right? Undeniable evidence that these people knew years before they started this this anti science campaign, before they started this misinformation campaign that still persists. In fact, like when finally cornered about it, they said it's our First Amendment right, and what? So, like, honestly, and anyways, I'm gonna go off on a small, I'm gonna go on a small tangent, so I'm just gonna drop that. But the point being is that, like, if there aren't hearings, that's my original thought process. If there aren't hearings, dragging these people in and being like, hey, what fuck? Explain this. Oi, bruv. What is this? Then we kind of like know, right? Yes, ADT, but they have all the laws in their favor now, so what you gonna do? I don't know. That's a good point. Quote, what they did was essentially remain silent while doing this work, and only when it became strategically necessary to manage the existential threat to their business did they stand up and speak out against the science. They could have endorsed their science rather than deny it. Yeah, but, quarterly profits. It would have been a much harder case to deny it if the king of big oil was actually backing science rather than attacking it. Climate scientists said this new study highlighted an important chapter in the struggle to address the climate crisis. It is very unfortunate that the company not only... And again, make no mistake. It's not just Exxon, okay? It's not just Exxon. Leftists make the greatest cults? Oh man, dude, the irony. Oh man, you must have missed my speech. You must have missed my speech earlier. So I guess in the spirit of being fair and balanced, you missed my speech, so I'll repeat myself. If you're gonna come here to troll and say some really, really, ironic things like that, because I mean the irony the irony of that statement just goes completely over your head. But anyways, if you're gonna come here to troll, just like the buddies that came in here earlier, if you're gonna come here to troll, guaranteed you're gonna have a bad time. I mean, unless you have some type of humiliation fetish, which again, I don't judge, you're gonna have a bad time. Society needs a fundamental transformation. And the only way it will happen is the natural collapse of fossil fuels, which is coming, and the steady progress of electrification. Hopefully we can establish a closed loop infrastructure when it does happen. Yeah. But like, if like, what really is frustrating is like, after reading this, after understanding and putting everything together, if there isn't like massive, movements to kind of like move in that direction now, if there aren't, like, at least on the politics side of things, if there aren't, like, hearings, bringing in these people and be like, yo, what the fuck? You knew about this since the 70s. What? Mike Coven is a better cult than the politics any day. True. There are big movements, we just don't see the results yet. I hope so, because, like, I don't know. Time isn't exactly on our hands. On our side. Sorry about that. An effort a little too late, though. I mean, it's a bit late on the sense that, like, damn. Some wild stuff is still locked in, and it's going to happen. But it's not too late to kind of not let it go further. I mean, that's kind of like the goal, right? It's not about stopping climate change. It's about mitigation and adaptation. It is very climate scientists have said that the new study highlighted an important chapter in the struggle to address the climate crisis. It's very unfortunate that the company did not only heed the implied risk from disinformation, but rather chose to endorse the non-scientific ideas instead to delay action, likely in an effort to make money. Yeah, no shit, said Natalie McWald, a climate scientist at Cornell University. McWald said that delays in action aided by Exxon had profound implications because earlier investments in wind and solar could have averted current and future climate disasters. If we include impacts from air pollution and climate change, their actions likely impacted thousands to millions of people adversely. Drew Shindell, a climate scientist at Duke University, said the new study was a detailed and robust analysis and that Exxon's misleading public comments about the climate crisis were especially brazen given their scientists' involvement in work with outside researchers in assessing global heating. Shindell said that it was hard to conclude that Exxon scientists were any better that Exxon scientists were any better at this than outside scientists, however. The new work provided further amplification of Exxon's misinformation, said Robert Brule, an environment policy expert at Brown University who has researched climate disinformation spread by the fossil fuel industry. I'm sure that the ongoing efforts to hold Exxon accountable will take note of this study. Brule said a reference to the various lawsuits aimed at getting oil companies to pay for climate damages. Exxon was approached for comment, but I'm gonna assume that, yeah. What a bunch of Weasley little liars, dude. Literally still lying. Holy shit. This is unbelievably infuriating. I mean, yeah, we can reduce, but it's an effort that is coming after we've done messed up. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. It's true. You're right. And to think that all of this was to make these asshats richer. Literally lighting the planet on fire to make a couple more bucks. Capitalism, folks. Unfucking real. Base of PJ. Rating with a party of 5. Welcome, everybody. You're coming in at the tail end of the stream. Development of AI, tons of energy storage technologies on the near horizon. Development of higher performance solar and wind and geothermal. Oh yeah, all of these things are great. All these things are great. It's just like, damn. Can you imagine where we would be? Like this article stated, can you imagine where we would be if we like started working on all this like decades ago? It's just so like sad and infuriating all at the same time. I trust you and your guidance. This is the way. Lots of this is happening in the next 5 years. I hope so. We're gonna need it. Folks, if you haven't already, please consider checking out twitch.tv/baseofpj. They are based. Gotta say, good beard there. Thank you. Although, like, personally, I'm gonna, yeah, don't look up. True. Don't look up. That's a great movie. If you want to know, like, what the heck, like, the exact, like, analogy, analogy. This is exactly it. Exactly it. But yeah, to that comment, base of PJ, unfortunately, I kind of don't like the beard. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, it's mostly laziness, mostly laziness, and then like, I was feeling kind of sick. No, I want to say the day before yesterday. I was feeling kind of sick. So yeah, I mean, keep it for the winter. Keep it till June? Oh, no. No, and that's already too much. I'm already getting annoyed of it. Well, I think that she is okay, like, up to a certain point. But, like, me personally, I just don't like it. It's just too much, you know? But that's just me. It's just like, it's already getting too much. I'm already feeling itchy. It's already bothering me. I'm gonna be honest, this is probably as long as it's gotten. Period. For those of you that are that came in with the raid, I own Clippers, so no biggie for me. Nice. That's what I need. For those of you that came in the raid, we are A Difficult Truth. We do the news, we do the politics Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. If you guys enjoy the content and you enjoy your stay, make sure you hit the follow button. You can also go on the YouTubes and hit the subscribe button. Really does help us out. I try to grow out my beard, but it never works for me. Some people it does, some people it doesn't. I don't know. To me, it's just like after a certain point, so I make my husband have one. There you go. There you go. One of you can hold the beard coin, right? So for those of you walking in, TLDR, yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, ExxonMobil absolutely knew about the climate crisis in the 70s. Not only did they know, like, it would be one thing if they had, like, an inkling of, like, how things could possibly turn out. It's not that they just didn't know. It's just that they had accurate predictions and very specific predictions. And they knew how their fossil fuels, their product, their company, had adverse effects on the planet. They knew. I did not get the bearded lady gene. Well, you can, like I said, your husband is the one that's gonna hold the beard coin. I mean, it's two of you, so there you go. And it just like makes me even more angry at all these clowns. Like Bjorn Longstrom, whatever the fuck. That climate denialist. Spreading misinformation. People like freaking Kim Iverson. People like Jordan Peterson. Not that these people are climate scientists, so they shouldn't be listened to anyways when it comes to this. But the fact that, like, for example, like Jordan Peterson going on like a massive podcast like Joe Rogan and saying shit like climate doesn't mean anything, like climate change doesn't mean anything, like what does that even mean? And like all this shit just makes me incredibly infuriated. Infuriated. It's just wild to me. Unfreaking believable. Oh, I just hit the clip button. I made it a clip for myself. Okay. If you can't see that climate change is real, then you need to take your head out of the sand. Yeah, but these people purposely do that, right? That's what makes me angry. What makes me angry is that they're doing it on purpose. All right. I really do got to get going, though. I appreciate you folks hanging out. Thank you, Base of PJ, for coming in with your wonderful folks. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you to all the new follows. Where's my kitty? It's coming. Thank you to the new follows. I appreciate all the support that you guys have given. You guys are what makes this channel grow. Thank you for the subs, the biddies, the follows, everything. You guys are what makes the channel grow. Thank you for the for that. And of course, if you guys haven't and want to support this channel, make sure that you hit the follow button. Make sure that you go on the YouTubes, hit the subscribe button. It really does help us out. And of course, if you can, you should spread the word far and wide. We're here Monday through Thursday. Bring a friend. 5 p.m. Eastern time. Let me go grab the cat, as I promised. So let me go grab one of the cats. One of them is gonna come here. I don't know whichever one that I find first. That's who's gonna come. All right, that's who's gonna come and say goodbye to everybody. All right, so hang tight. Let me bring the kitty cat, and I will be right back. All right, here's the cat, as promised. She was the first one here. She was the first one that was waiting for me at the stairs. So she looks she looks mad. She's not mad. You good, kitty? Come on, blink twice if you're okay. Yes. Yes, you are. See? Isn't she cute? Yes, she's such a cutie. There you go. This is the replacement for the cute animal video. She always has this like sassy look because she's a very sassy cat, but she's completely chill. All right, folks, there you go. You want to say something? No? All right. At least she's sassy and not a shitten. No, the other cat is. The other day, the other cat's name is Buddy. The other day, he literally freaking ran into my girlfriend's office and decided to yeet a pot that had oh shoot, I forgot what the plant was, and it was all over the floor. Mind you, yes, this is the second cat. Mind you, he's already broken what, like two pots already at this point? Yeah. I mean, he's incredibly cute, and he's incredibly cuddly. That's why his name is Buddy. But he loves to get himself into trouble. Isn't that right, kitty? She's like, not me. I'm a good cat. I don't go and break pots and whatnot. I'm about to adopt a second stray. Yeah, both of these are strays. Oh. All right. Both of these are straight. Yeah, take that, Dad. Alright, go on, kitty. No, you just want to stay here? Okay. Well, I guess she's going to stay on my lap then. All right. All right, folks. You can see her little ears. Yeah, she's going to stay here. Okay. All right, folks. As always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. Of course, of course. Please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Enjoy your weekend and chat. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ooh, sorry, kitty. See ya. See, now she wants to purr up a storm. See you in the next one. Thank you. Appreciate it. Alright, hang tight, everybody. Alright, folks, we're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See ya.